the just to validate the content, obviously in relevance to what you've covered, I think it would be prudent to put a timeline where we say, okay, if you can send something by Monday, then I can guarantee that I'll give you at least feedback. I don't know what you think, if it makes sense.
Okay, thank you, Roy. To respond to that, we are completing the training today, so the participants can be able to have some time this afternoon and also Monday. So by close of business on Monday, if you're able to send in some work done, I'll be able to give you feedback. Okay. I hope that clarifies for us all.
Leah, your network seems to be a bit off. Kindly repeat.
I'm saying I can give the participants, since we are ending early today, so they'll have some time to work today, and then also on Monday, such that I will say by close of business on Monday, if you have submitted some work, I'll give you time and do some reviews and give you feedback. You heard that, Roy?
Yes, I just wanted to be very clear for all members, as Claire has put it. If you can be able to share what you're working on before close of business on Monday, at least you'll be guaranteed feedback. The reason why I'm really emphasizing on this is also because we are aware of the commitments Claire is involved in, and because of just to be able to get timely feedback and relevant to this training, but also on your side as a participant, you need to capitalize on time while the information is fresh, while the skill is fresh, so that you can actually nurture it. So I think it's two-way. So let's try and have something shared before close of business on Monday. If you even send earlier, even better. Thank you very much.
Okay. I would like to welcome us all this morning. As we wait for the participants to join us, I request that we get started. Elsie is here, and Bridget, the two of you did not present something yesterday, and also Monique. Is any of you ready to project and share with us based on what we got trained on yesterday? And we just look at what you have done. Don't worry, we don't expect you to have a perfect document, but share what you've been able to do. And then we give feedback in a few minutes before we move to today's work. Elsie, you have something to share? Bridget?
Unfortunately, I don't.
You don't.
Yes.
I like you. I like your honesty. Monique, you have something to share?
Yes, I do.
Please share your screen.
Hold on, I will when I'm ready.
How much time do you think it's going to take you to share?
About 3 minutes.
About 3 minutes. Yes, Elsie. Please
Okay,
tell us.
for me, I did the assignment, but I was thinking
Yes, please.
that maybe I have an actual project, so I wanted guidance on it rather than the assignment. I don't know if you mind, but I would like to get it from the point of perspective of my real project, so that you can give me further guidance apart from the assignment, because my actual project is more involving. So I was thinking maybe I can share the actual project, if you wouldn't mind, ma'am.
Wow. LC. I really wanted to give feedback in line with the training so that I will get to gauge if we have actually got any value from this training. And also for the other participants in the training to be able to give feedback, because the more feedback you get from fellow participants, the more they learn and the more you learn too.
Claire,
Yes, please.
can you sit?
Not yet.
I've directed you to share. I don't know whether you can sit.
We cannot see it.
It's on an iPhone, eh?
Yes.
It's requiring me to do some installation, which I do not have yet on my side. Let me see if the installation will work. Okay, as we are trying out the installation, I would suggest that as installation failed, unfortunately,
Is it? Have you seen it?
I'm doing a download to see the best way it can be done. Yes. Participants, are we able to see what's on the screen?
Yes.
The master plan? Monique, please
Yes.
present.
So this is what I came up with as the master plan for Lobe Mixed Farm in Jinja District, that is in Uganda.
Yes.
I wrote that the flagship of Lobe Mixed Farm is in pig rearing, and it's a mixed farm dealing in rearing cows, goats, chicken, and pigs.
Okay.
And on the crop side, it deals with growing food crops such as matoke, green vegetables, tomatoes, eggplants, green pepper, spring onions. We also grow eucalyptus and pine trees. Okay, I don't know whether we actually need all that, but
No, like please go down very fast. At least you
and I went to the mission statement that it's grown naturally to offer innovative and practical, accurate, top quality products to improve the people's lives and cost them less than the competing products to meet the needs of the business. The vision is to provide foods that are organic and also to train the young generation to be self-sustained. I want it to be the leading organic farm in Jinja that is produce the organic products that will grow by practicing organic farming and by mixing the natural fertilizers and pesticides to use them on the farm. The product that is on the side, because I want to measure in piggery,
Yeah.
I said I want to raise the organic animals with less fat, but with natural scent. That will be tasty. And with that, for any customer will have to buy the mutton, will come and get it. I also wrote that the environment is serene, as the customers will be able to learn about modern farming and finished products that will be used, and they will be packed at the farm. These pigs will be of low fat.
Please don't read everything, just get the highlights.
The highlights.
Yes.
So I went up to the achievements. I want to inquire the hybrid. The achievements that I've got is acquiring the hybrid in 2016, then acquired the truck. Then the milestones is to improve on the security, because if you don't have the security, then everything will be in vain. That is it.
Thank you very much, Monica. I request for feedback from the participants to what Monica has presented. Please unmute yourself and give feedback. Team Joint Medical Stores, we got a lot of feedback for you yesterday. Juliet, please give Monica feedback. Emma? Colleagues, no one is willing to give Monica feedback. Roy?
Sorry. I thought it was for the participating learners.
Even Claire.
All right. So let me just, because I didn't expect this, but I can give some feedback. One, there's the focus in terms of I don't see the problem per se. In terms of the situation, I don't see what value you want to create and the potential, should I say, impact. There's the element of, I want to do this naturally. Why? Is it based on an existing scenario that has some negative impact or implications that you want to bring something positive? I think that is from the general perspective of how the whole approach, like I want to from the word go to know where are we going with this, okay? Where are we going with this proposal? Because a proposal is, in simple terms, a pitch that ideally is supposed to persuade me into embracing you or embracing the vision that you want to do or the solution that you want to present. So those attributes are not emerging, and probably that's why I would need a little bit more of deliberate steps to actually portray that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roy. Any other person in the room to give feedback? I see Emmanuel, you're unmuted, and Juma. Okay. Monique, I will not re-echo what Roy has said, but actually also general advice.
Yes, I have some.
Yes, Humphrey.
Yes, I have some feedback.
Yes, Humphrey.
According to me, Juliet's proposal is missing the statistics. I've not seen any statistics according to what I see. Yet statistics speak more relating to what you want to achieve.
Yeah, thank you so much, Humphrey. Monique, you have to inform us of what is currently happening with Loben Mixed Farm, okay? That is not according to your expectations, because by the time you started this farm, you had very big expectations. Which area of the farm is not working out well regarding the pig rearing, okay? So you bring out that problem, you propose the solutions that you'd want a funder to come in and contribute to, okay? For example, if it's pig rearing and you want to upscale your production, is the problem with the limited scale that you have a bigger market and you're limited on production, okay? If that is the problem, you bring it out and then you propose solutions. Then up with that goal, what do you want to see on this farm in terms of the pig rearing at the end of the day, okay? Because if you're doing pig farming, you're not working alone, much as like in the start you may be alone, but the value chain has a lot. The pigs themselves have a manure that you can, the waste can be used as manure and you can share with the community. What do you want to do? Because with projects, they go beyond the farm normally. They have to impact both the farm and people outside the farm. Yeah, so that is missing in your presentation. So what you will do, you will go back to the notes that I know the slides cannot be able to offer a lot, but if you've been making some notes during the training, they can be able to guide you, okay? And then like we've given the offer for you to be able to submit something by close of business on Monday, then I can come back with you. I mean to you with more feedback. Okay?
Thank you.
I think the other participants are not ready to share. I request that we proceed with today's work. Monica, I've stopped sharing your screen. Can we confirm that we're seeing my screen? Thank you, Humphrey.
Yes, Kalia, you can proceed.
Thank you very much, Monique, and all the participants. Today, we are going to continue with what we shared yesterday and on day one, on Wednesday. And we are going to, first of all, look at risks, analysis, and mitigation. This is one of the key areas of a proposal. Why? Because whatever we do has a risk. Okay? Whatever you do in life has a risk. When you choose to take your children to school, I'll give an example. You want them to acquire education and knowledge. But there are risks. When you choose to leave your children at home and they don't go to school, again, you're risking their future. In line with what we are studying and in line with our work, if Joint Medical Stores chooses not to do anything about the pandemic, there are risks. And now that you're coming out to provide the PPE, again, there are risks. Whatever is uncertain about the proposed project, okay? And in case what is uncertain occurs, it impacts the project negatively, is a risk. Okay, I'll give an example. Elsie, are you there? Elsie? Okay, let me start from a joint medical stores example, then I'll pick one from the agriculture team. Joint medical stores wants to purchase protective equipment for the healthcare practitioners. But you will wake up, everything is set, you've got the money, and when you have ordered and actually made a payment for the PPE, the number of cases in the country of COVID-19 escalates. And the president decides to lock down the country again, including the airport. But you've ordered PPE, probably from China or any other country. And you look forward to the president to open the airport, and it takes 6 months. Okay? That is a very big risk, because it's very difficult for you to deliver on time when you've lost, even if you've lost 1 month. Okay? Then the people who are in agriculture, you're not working alone. You're working with farmers. Elsie wants to build a factory for yogurt to reduce losses on the side of the farmers, so that they can be able to process more yogurt from the milk. But the farmers can decide, can actually get another company or person who is actually going to take their milk. Much as you're planning, someone else is planning for the same farmers. And you've got the money, everything seems to be in place. When you get to the farmers, they say, sorry, we have someone who is paying a higher price per liter. And we actually have no supply. So when you're looking at risks, some may be low, some may be high, some may be medium. How do we determine risks? First of all, we look at our organization or company internally. Look at your team. You have got this team. When you got the money, you recruited a very good team to work with, and 2 months down the road, you've actually even done the training and elected this staff. Some decide to leave. That's a risk. There are risks in operations as a company. Then there are risks that come from outside the company, because you don't work alone and you don't work in a vacuum. There are risks on the side of the stakeholders. There are risks in the economy. There are risks in the environment politically. Those who are in Uganda are aware that we are having elections starting January next year, as per the communication by the Electoral Commission yesterday. There is so much uncertainty in the country now. We are not sure of what will happen after the elections. We're even not sure of what is going to happen between now and the election time. At least you've watched on TV tear gas in some places. And this could happen where your business is located. Okay? So look at the entire organization or company and identify any area where there could be uncertainties, and you document them. So after documenting all the risks, Andrew, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Every risk, you came in when we have started with our first presentation, our first slide. We're on risk analysis and mitigation. Every risk that you have identified, you must inform us of a mitigation measure. What are mitigation measures? Whatever we do or whatever we put in place to ensure that we avoid the occurrence of the risk, or in case the risk occurs, that we reduce the impact of that risk, is a mitigation measure. Okay? For example, joint medical stores, you can choose not to import the protective equipment. You look for suppliers locally and you buy from here. The risk is lower than when you're going to import. Though from your part, the importation could have been cheaper, given that you're going to get it, probably even a manufacturer in China, since you're looking at the whole of Uganda, and they give you a lower price per protective gear. Okay, but when you get now to working within the country, there could be a risk of higher prices. When you're writing the proposal, you quoted less money because we are going to import to enjoy economies of scale. The higher you're bringing in, the lower the unit cost. But when it gets to buying in the country, the cost shoots up. That is a risk. Much as it could be a mitigation measure for someone who is importing. Okay? So when we finish, what you do with the risk analysis, and you draw a table, you put in all the risks, you categorize internal risks, then external risks, inform us of the mitigation measures, and after that, okay, you do risk analysis. Here, you're going to look at one risk after the other. When you go to the risk of importing, you're seeing a small matrix I've drawn here. What is the probability of that risk happening? The probability of the president closing down the airports. Is it low? Is it medium? Is it high? In case it is low, what will be the impact on the project? In case it is high, in case the probability is high, what will be the impact on the project? You see the colors I've put there: green, yellow, the brownish, orange, and red. This means if the probability is low and the impact is low, then we are good to go. There is less worry. Okay? Wherever you're seeing green, there is less worry. But where you start seeing yellow and then getting to red, you must have very good mitigation measures. Because once a funder sees a risk that is high in terms of probability of happening, and it will be, the impact on the project will be very high, then they ask so many questions of how you're going to overcome that. Okay? So can I get any questions on risk management? Feel free. Still, if it is clear, just give me a thumbs up so that we move on to the next slide. Thank you, Roy. Next is theory of change. Now, this one sounds interesting, but is one of the hardest areas of the proposal in terms of time, in terms of thinking about the project, because you have to bring out what is that you want to see at the end of the intervention. What is going to change? What is that desired transformation? Okay, you want to reduce farmer losses for those who are in agriculture. You want to increase farmer productivity. Joint medical stores, you want to reduce COVID-19 infections. Okay, how are you going to achieve that? Because whatever now you are planning is in your mind. Yes, you put it on paper, but nothing has happened to date. So you need to convince the funder that when you give us the resources, if we partner with you, we can be able to achieve. Okay? So. Okay, I think I was looking for what is in the chat. So I gave some examples here in line with us, the participants who are in this training. Joint medical stores, reduced COVID-19 infections is what you want to see. And this is long term. Juliet, you want to increase pineapple production among the farmers. Elsie, you want to reduce losses. Andrew, you want extension services to get closer to the coffee farmers such that when they are closer to them, there's increased production of quality coffee. Because it's not about increase in the quantity of coffee, it's about increase in the quality. Like
Hi, madam. Hello?
Yes, Purity.
Just a minute, please. Could someone just help and share the link? I have failed to get it, yet one of us wants to get in. She didn't receive it.
The link to...
I had written for this meeting. I don't have it. I don't know how I entered this meeting.
You don't know how you entered the meeting. Can I request Humphrey? Humphrey, can I request you to handle that, please? Humphrey, are you here? Juma?
Sorry, we are going to share that link to the email, or you're going to receive the link shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Roy. Sorry, Purity. I'm very... okay, I'm afraid also just getting in here again. So, theory of change, okay? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to see? Why do you want to see that? What is that burning desire? Okay? So after you coming up with this, what you want to achieve, you work backwards to identify the conditions that must be in place, okay, for you to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. So you look at the outcomes, you look at the outputs, what activities are you going to do for you to be able to achieve. And the theory of change is normally an illustration that will appear on one page, where you have put the elements, the goal, the impact, the outcomes, the outputs and the activities, and then you're indicating to us the end result, okay, of all these. So when someone looks at your theory of change, they can actually take a decision to request for more information from you, to see a possibility of you getting resources from them or partnering with them. Because your goal is very clear and how you're going to achieve it is also very clear with the theory of change. That's why I'm saying these all have to be mapped in a framework, which framework can just be a single pager. Okay, moving on. Project implementation plan. This is simple. We already have the activities laid out. We we learned about this earlier in the training.
Claire, just to take a little bit back.
Yes, Andrew.
On the theory of change.
Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
I don't know. At one moment, I had someone who was describing it as relating it to taking the analogy of a big river, for example,
okay,
and having various tributaries leading to it, and was
yes,
calling those tributaries various pathways that lead to the bigger desired picture,
yes,
or desired the goal you want to achieve. So he was
yes,
calling the theory of change to be something higher, but there are various pathways you can use through which to go there. For example, if I want to attain wealth, I can have a pathway of investment, I can have a pathway of theft, I can have a pathway of embezzlement. Those would be dangerous, of course, but all of them. How is that one customized? How can we customize that to this? Was that wrong, or
no? It is very right. It is not wrong. It is very right. That's why I mentioned that after identifying the end goal, now the end goal is the river. Okay, you're going to work backwards. Now this must be in place at the different tributaries that you're talking about. What do you have to achieve the goal? About the goal of wealth, do you have to work hard? Okay. You have to embezzle funds, because those are all pathways. Yeah. So pathways are those conditions that must be in place for you to be able to achieve. And these pathways normally it's not one pathway. I mean, because you're looking at a big desired change, you want to reduce infections that are worrying the entire world. Okay? You want to reduce them in Uganda. Okay. You can even create an example that everyone will be able to copy. Normally, you don't have one option. You may be able to provide the PPE. Okay? What assurance do you have that as soon as PPE, the healthcare providers will know exactly what to do? Okay, you've trained them. Remember, actions are both at the healthcare facility and also in the communities. For the communities, are you only going to use the PPE to reduce infections? How are you going to ensure that there are less community infections, or how are you going to ensure that people of the community actually move to the health facilities? For example, what we're having in Uganda, people are fearing quarantine because they have to pay a lot to get the 14 days in there. Then there's uncertainty in quarantine. What happens to my family? For example, they pick me from work. If they come and cordon off the entire workplace. So the pathway of PPE might not work 100% for the community infection. Giving an example of coffee. Okay? Andrew, Cafe Africa wants to enhance extension services. okay, to reach out to the farmer. They can be able to produce quality coffee. Yeah. One of the pathways could be approaching a local government, okay, where the specific farmers are, and you partake of the sub-county or the people who are in the agricultural department. Okay. You could also look at people outside, even the community where you are, people who are already producing quality coffee that is good for export. How are they doing it? And then on the side of the farmers, is it that as soon as you provide extension services, everything works out on its own? That's why I mentioned that the theory of change takes a lot of thinking of all possible ways and conditions. Now, under the possible ways and conditions are the pathways, are the tributaries that lead to this river, which is our goal of improved production of quality coffee. Am I clear, Andrew?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. So it's change of language, but we are speaking the same. We mean the same.
Okay.
Because we know, normally when you talk about conditions, you know what you want. Increased production of quality coffee. How are you going to ensure that? Okay, Cafe Africa is thinking about extension services. Are you 100% sure that once you increase extension services and you ensure that they are continuous, that all farmers will be able to actually produce quality coffee? So when you're developing this theory of change, you actually get your team. Sometimes even you have to get a team of experts in the coffee value chain, okay? And they advise you on how to build this theory of change. What else has to be done for you to achieve the increased productivity of quality coffee? Some may be in your means, some may not be in your means. You may need a number of partners to work with to achieve this. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you, Andrew, for bringing out that. I had moved to project implementation plan. Like I said, this one is simple. We already have our activities spelled out. You assign the responsible parties. Is it your organization? Which staff in your company are going to do? They are going to be in charge of implementing the activities. Okay. When? And with this one, we break the year into 12. Each month has its own column. Here I have put it just for illustration, but you're supposed to divide per month. So under 2020, you have 12 columns. Giving an example, if this is a 2-year project, even under 2021, you have 12 columns for each and every month. So which activities do you expect to implement when? Ivan, you're welcome. Okay. Sometimes people call it a Gantt chart, and it seems a lot of English. It seems like it's, but essentially they want to know your implementation plan. How do you plan to implement the project for you to be able to achieve the outputs, the outcomes, the impact, and the goal? And the activities should be exhaustive. That's why you've seen I've put ETC. They must be exhaustive. Bring out anything, and sometimes you might even have major activities and more detailed activities. Okay? Any questions here? You seem to be good. I don't know, today we are very quiet. I don't know if everything seems simple or the first day.
Some maybe they are getting lost, we are getting lost, but there's no getting lost here. I'm looking at the paper that we have to use to put that project implementation phase, that Gantt chart. Want it to be too long because then you'll have a lot, and sometimes I don't know, kindly just elaborate on whether space will be enough or whether we can break it down.
Actually, it's normally one page. Yes. So this is what happens, Elsie, okay? The activity is purchasing machinery, okay? For you who is in yogurt, okay? Who is going to do that in your team? Okay, you put the person, probably productions person, okay? Then when you go to the timeline, 2020, okay? We are indicating in January, Feb, so you make the columns small. You make the columns small so that you can be able, and what happens with now the timeline, you just shade. You just shade, yes, Spirit will come to you. You just shade when you are going to start activity, or when you're going to start, or even if it's going to take 6 months, you shade off 6 months. Is that clear to you, Elsie? Elsie, is that clear to you?
Okay. About this chart that is on the screen,
Yes, please.
I wanted to inquire, okay, I'm seeing the month, task, activity 1, 2, 3, 4. And you've said it's supposed to be per month. So basically, I'm not getting that point because I'm seeing that there is a January today to December. So like, how are you supposed to arrange it per month so that like when you're doing the proposal, it's able to be understood better.
Okay, let me stop sharing and I just give you an example. Okay, I just share something that it can be able to make it very clear. Elsie, are you seeing that?
Having COVID-19. You're having COVID-19.
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Are you seeing that actually the months are fitting on one page? Actually here, I even put the outputs, the indicators, and the activities. This is an example of a project implementation. Does this give you some clarity?
Reduce the volume of transportation.
Yeah? Elsie?
Clear?
Purity?
Yes, hello, clear.
Yes, please.
Maybe it was very tiny. You make it a little bit bigger because I think people could not see what clearly what's on the chart.
Okay. Humphrey, are you seeing what I've shared?
Yes, thank you. I'm seeing it.
Elsie, does that give you a clear picture? That it can actually be one page and just one page. Sometimes even half a page, depending on the activities that you're going to implement. Purity, please talk to us?
I needed to find out what if you have 5 years, if the project is 5 years, what happens? Will it still fit because we want to be clean?
If the project is 5 years, you can do per quarter.
Oh, okay.
You can do per quarter, okay? What you do from your side, you can do a bigger like per month. But when you get to the proposal, you can present it per quarter. That in quarter one, for example, if the project is starting in January, okay? In January, and so within the first 3 months, if the activities, those are you highlight quarter one, okay? So when you look at what I've shared, when you have quarter one, that means in a year you only have 4 quarters, okay? And with 5 years, you have only 20 columns. Now for 2 years, I've shared 24 columns, okay? Does that give you clarity, Purity?
Yes, please.
I have shared, you're seeing on my screen, I've shared 2 years with 24 columns. Now yours is years in quarters, okay? And in the proposal, you explain that this is going to be done in 5 years. Which quarter we are going to be achieving this or implementing this, okay?
It's well understood.
Thank you.
Claire?
Yes, Joshua.
On the part of indicators,
Yes, please.
does that answer the part for who in the former table shared?
Now, it depends. If you have a lot of information, you may leave out the who, okay? Because the who means the responsible person or responsible entity. For the example of joint medical stewards, you're working with Uganda Catholic Medical Bureau, you're working with Uganda Protestant Medical Bureau, okay? And the other medical bureaus. If any of the partners is going to implement some of the activities, who is going to be that medical bureau or those medical bureaus? Okay? If it's 100% you, or you have a contribution, actually in the who, if you have, even if you have 10 partners, you indicate them. But for your 5-year project, if the who is going to really make this very big, you can leave out the who and you do a stakeholder and a stakeholder analysis where you indicate the roles for each stakeholder. That will be on a different page or different pages. You just draw a table and you indicate stakeholder, the roles, and the expected output. Okay? Does that give you clarity, Joshua?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Madam Claire, maybe, I don't know whether we've reached there or we've passed, but you help us throw more light on indicators and help us with some of the examples of indicators, please.
Oh, okay. Now,
Thank you.
Indicators, we talked about them yesterday. Indicators is what will show that you have achieved. Okay? You want to train to give an example of 150 healthcare. Now for Uganda, it's going to be bigger numbers of healthcare practitioners. Let me assume 100,000 healthcare practitioners. Okay? The indicator is going to be for the activity of training. The indicator will be 100 healthcare practitioners trained. That is the indicator. Okay?
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for bringing in the questions because they help us to understand better. I think we are done with the activity implementation plan. I request to move on to the next slide, which is the logical framework approach matrix, which we normally abbreviate as LFA matrix. The summary I can give you here is that this is the entire proposal on 1 or 2 pages, depending on how big your project is. Because as you can see, we have the results, we have the indicators, we have the baseline, the timeline, the data sources, which are the means of verification, frequency of reporting, and who is responsible. And for each of these, you're going to detail them per outcome, per output, and also for the overall goal. Okay? This, whatever I've indicated here, we have gone through. Okay, for frequency of reporting, I can add, throw more light. Many times the funder will tell you when they want you to report. Some funders want you to report every 3 months. Some funders want you to report every 6 months. Some funders want to do annual reporting, okay? But normally for very big projects, funders don't want to wait for a whole year because it will be a lot of work when you're doing the reporting. So you have to keep sending quarterly reports. That is frequency of reporting. So as you're going to report on the outcomes and the outputs, are you going to report annually? Are you going to report biannually? Are you going to report quarterly? That is frequency of reporting. And who of either you or your partners is going to be responsible for the achievement of the outcome or the output? Yes, Purity. Okay.
That was an old hand, please.
That's an old one, okay. So whatever you have done previously, you can be able to summarize it in this one page. You just draw a table, you indicate your goal, you indicate your outcomes, you indicate your outputs, okay? And you indicate now, for example, joint medical stores, the baseline now is increase in the number of COVID-19 infections. What is the, actually, the increase for now, we have about 10,000 something. Eh? That's the baseline infections of COVID-19 in Uganda. So you indicate, that's the baseline. Your goal is to reduce these infections. I don't know, to half, to 0, that is according to you, what you want to do, okay? So you indicate the baseline that now we have 10,000, this number of cases, okay? When are you going to implement and achieve these outcomes? You indicate the timeline. What will show means of verification or data sources, okay? The partners may choose to go to the medical bureaus. They may choose to come to you. Yes, Spirit, you're back with the hand.
I would like to find out what happens if I have my timeline maybe as the first 3 months of the activity to be done, and then by that time we are not yet done, I do the reporting. Does the funder withdraw his money or there's a second chance?
Normally, you know, these funders, we are in a relationship, eh? As who are implementing, like I told you on day one, when you achieve the objectives of joint medical stores for this particular project, the funder is achieving more. That's why they give you that money, because the objectives were in line with the objectives. Once you achieve, they achieve. So we are in a relationship. If you are delayed on your part, remember we talked about risks in my first slide today. There could be factors that may delay the project, such that the 3 months end and you hardly have anything to report on. What you do, communicate to the funder. Do the reporting, because in the agreement, normally they indicate reporting and they tell you every 3 months. Whatever small work you have done, you may not have achieved the output, but activities are ongoing, okay? Indicate to the funder that under this output, okay, we have initiated the procurement process of the PPE. We have got, we have issued a purchase order to the supplier. However, the supplier has not been able to supply in the time that we had earlier indicated, but we expect that by this month, the supplier will have supplied. You indicate that in the report, but make sure you submit. One of the challenges that is happening with funding, and why even some funders stop funding, is us not delivering on our part, because reporting is one of the major requirements for funding. The funder needs to know there is progress. If there is no progress, what is the problem, so that it can be arrested, okay? The two of you meet, Joint Medical Stores and the funder meet, and you inform the funder why you are not able to deliver in the timeline that you proposed. I'll give you an example. For most of us who are in projects, because projects are time-lived, okay? We have specific timelines to complete them. We had planned for 2020. Everything looked well on paper. We started there, January. We started hearing a bit of this flu, terrible flu in China, and we thought probably it would just remain there in China. Guess what? In March, the whole world is scared about this flu. Countries are locked down. No travel, not even from our own homes, not even using the vehicles that we use project money to buy. And we thought the president has locked the country for 2 weeks, and probably the next 2 weeks, or the next, after the 2 weeks, we shall be able to go back. And what happens? The country is locked on 1st April, and he starts just easing the lockdown at the end of May, okay? Apart from the few essentials. And your project might not be under the essentials. Yes, Joint Medical Stores, you're in health. Probably you could be working, but remember there are also limitations. Much as they were essentials, you had to reduce the number of staff because of social distancing, you know. There are times when you don't use only your cars, you can be able to use other cars, but all these other cars were under lockdown. So you might not be able to deliver. Actually, for most of us, we have not been able to deliver in time because of COVID-19. What risk, we don't even know when it will end. Actually, for those of you who are writing proposals, COVID-19 is one of the biggest risks that the world has today, especially as the developing countries. Much as our numbers don't seem to be high. So you indicate COVID-19 as a risk. What are the mitigation measures? Okay. One of the mitigation measures could be communicating to the funder in time that we have not been able to achieve or even to implement due to travel restrictions. Is that clear to you, Purity?
Yes, it's clear. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Can I beg to move on? Now, every proposal must have a budget, because this is where we get the money to implement. What do we put in the budget? basically the costs. What are you going to spend on? Okay. Joint medical stores, you want to buy PPE. LC wants to buy machinery. Juliet wants to buy fertilizers and other inputs for the farmers. Andrew wants to enhance extension services. Okay. All these have attached costs. So when you're drawing a budget, go to actually read the entire proposal again. The first areas that you've done above, and identify any area that has a cost and put down that cost. Okay? You're going to work with staff. You must pay them. If someone is going to the medical bureaus for joint medical stores, if someone is going into capital for Juliet, according to your presentation yesterday, okay? Indicate all this. If you're going to do training for these extension services, capacity building for Cafe Africa, indicate all those costs. For the training, are you going to use in-house staff or are you going to hire a company to do the training? Indicate all that. Actually, when funders are reviewing, this is one of the most critical parts that they look at in the proposal. And this budget, do it as detailed as possible. Put everything, but when you're presenting to the funder, unless they require a detailed one, just give them a summary. Okay? Today we seem to have some participants seem to have bad network, because I see people getting in and back, in and out of the meeting. So, to also be able to tell the funder that I am actually willing and committed to do this project, we indicate on contribution. For some funders, they request for it as mandatory. Some funders might tell you, you don't need own contribution, and they can be able to fund 100%. Okay? So, from your side, you can be able to know, for example, joint medical stores, you already have facilities in the country. You already have partners, the medical bureaus, okay? They have offices. Some of this can be in kind. They give you an office to implement this. They allocate you office space or a desk to implement this. This is not paid for by a funder because they already have the space, and all you need, you can just buy a desk, and you can even offer to give you a desk. And all you need is to bring a personnel to that desk. Okay? Then I go to Purity. You wanted me to make more clarity on cost efficiency yesterday.
Yes, please.
Cost efficiency is using minimal resources and achieving maximum output. You may decide, instead of recruiting so many project staff, since you have partners who are already across the country, you give a budget to the partners to work with their existing staff, probably as partners. Where are we saving money here? Because when you bring in new staff as joint medical stores, you're going to pay salaries, you're going to pay NSSF, you're going to pay, you're going to pay insurance, sometimes even gratuity. So it's very, even recruitment itself is a cost.
And I will create a small window.
So when you have partners, they can be able to help you cut down the cost. They can allocate one of their staff who is already recruited to manage the project or the program. Okay, so anything that cuts down on the cost of the project is under cost efficiency. You don't have to do everything alone. You don't have to establish offices in every district for joint medical stores. Okay? For Africa, you don't have to recruit extension workers and they are working under Cafe Africa. You can partner with the local governments and they bring in their staff to provide the extension services. Because when you bring in your own people, you even have to train them, yet the partner could have already trained staff that should be able to do this job. Okay.
So, Madam, with that,
yes,
would we have to give an additional something for this staff that we are partnering with, or we would not have? And the other thing is, does cost efficiency require us to write like statements, or it can be tabular or anything?
Now, cost efficiency, sometimes funders, when they give it, they may indicate. Sometimes they may not indicate. So if they don't indicate it, you leave it out. If the proposal is open, it would be good to show the funder that you're going to use their minimal resources and you achieve for them outputs. So it's just a statement, one paragraph.
Claire,
yes, and Purity.
Claire, can I call them? Can I let them to? Can I let them to?
Sorry, Andrew, we have not got you. You're breaking.
I was trying to say that can they be related to synergies? You look for area where you build synergies with other partners.
Yes.
And you are benefiting from cutting costs through the synergies.
Exactly. That is one of the areas where you're working with existing structures and not establishing new structures, because much as this is a 5-year project, you hiring an office where you're going to have the project manager, you're going to have an accountant, you're going to have an admin, you're going to have security, you're paying rent, okay, for this building, yet a partner can be able to allocate you a room or two. Even if they ask for rent, it will not matter establishing your own office. So the synergies that Andrew is talking about are very key here because they help us to cut down costs. Okay, but I look for people who will be able to deliver when you're getting into these agreements with them. Make sure they will deliver, because remember we agreed that you're in control of the outputs. Okay. So when you're getting in touch with partners, get those that will be able to help you deliver the outputs. Okay. Colleagues, can I get questions before I get to the template of the concept note that Purity requested for? Feel free to raise questions from any of the areas that we have gone through. You know, when you're training and the participants keep silent, either they've understood everything or they've understood zero.
I think it was clear.
Of everything or of a zero.
That's on my side. I don't know what the others are.
Pardon? Yes, Andrew. Andrew, you're saying something? Claire. Good morning. How are you? Good to hear from you.
Fine, thank you. I was reviewing the cost cutting I was looking at the areas, environment, women, and youth. You explain, for instance, with an cultural-related project, you look at how the environment is being utilized throughout the project. You are looking at if you implement a project, are you going to destroy the environment or are you going to plant more trees? Secondly, on the women and youth, are you looking at the number of youth and women employed or being utilized in the project, which is going to be undertaken? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jacob. Starting with the environment, how is your initiative going to positively or negatively impact the environment? Whatever we are looking at should be a positive contribution. However, if there is an element of negativity, please bring it out also. That we are going to do processing, okay? Now, as we are doing our processing, our machines emit, okay? There are carbon emissions from our machines. What are we going to do? We are going to plant as carbon sinks. Jacob, is that clear to you? Environment, whatever you're indicating in the proposal, improving the environment. Because you know now climate change is one of those big challenges that we are facing.
Yes, please.
In the world, okay? So you bring out what are those components of your work that are reducing the negative impacts of climate change, okay? And if there is any area, like for those of you who are in processing, most of the machines we use here in Africa, okay? Not even only in Africa. Most of the machines emit during production. So as a company, what are you going to do to reduce these emissions? That's it to do with the environment, okay? Then getting to the youth and women, if your agricultural initiative is going to employ them, are they going to be employed directly? Are they going to be employed indirectly? Are you going to enable them to create spin-off businesses? Yakub, you're into agriculture processing. You're into processing, right? That's what I read. If I read about your company. You're into
agro-processing.
Now with processing, is there anywhere in the value chain where you're creating spin-off businesses for these women? Are they your suppliers? Okay? Are they your suppliers? Because if they are your suppliers, they have to have businesses which bring raw materials to your processing factory. Okay? If they're not in the supply, are they in the marketing and sales? What role are they playing? What we are looking at here is we need to involve both male and female, not only to look at one gender, not only the women and not only the men. Jacob, am I clear there?
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Very much. More questions for me? Participants, feel free to raise your hand. It may not be a question, it may be a comment to clarify on something, like the way Andrew has coming in. Okay?
Maybe clear.
Yes, Andrew.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Hello?
Andrew, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
An example. Okay, there was an example I want to just share that we were trying to build a partnership with some district people in implementing your project, and I wanted to use the extension staff. But for that for that to be more effective, we had to look for a relevant policy that mandates the district extension the district to deliver extension services. We are to explore the local government. I think there's an act under decentralization. There's in the local government act. There's something that a provision where districts are mandated to provide extension services to farmers. So while we are discussing for this, negotiating and lobbying and discussing to have this synergy, we had to explore that, and it worked out very well. So sometimes you may have to look at a relevant policy that gives the mandate to the other people, and you are riding on that. It makes the work much more simple. So that's an experience doing that.
Thank you so much for that, Andrew.
Hello.
Thank you so much for that, Andrew. Dear participants, can I get more comments? Can I get questions before I move on to the concept note? Andrew, you want to say something? I've not heard from Juliet today. Juliet, are you there? I don't seem to have any comments. Okay. I request to move on to, I want to make sure Purity is in the session. Purity, are you there? Hello, Purity? Purity, are you there? Purity, for the concept note, are you there?
I'm here, madam. I'm available.
I'm going to share something that is template, okay, that you may consider once that you use it, but you may consider, okay? Spirit, are you seeing that? And all the other participants?
Yes, I am, but it's a bit small. Can we maybe increase the font? Oh, there is.
Is it clearer now?
Yes, please. It's clear.
Okay. Now, the concept note is basically a summary of the full proposal. But here with the concept note, you do less work. The proposal, you need more time than a concept note. So the proposal just picks summaries. You must have the project title. I've just proposed what you indicated in your presentation yesterday, done by Ivan. Who is the applicant? Joint Medical Stores. You indicate your address. Purity is the contact person or any other person, Joint Medical Stores. Okay. Your complete address. Put the website if you have it, so that they can come to your website in case they need more information, just to know about you. Then you put the project summary. The approach. Which approach are you going to use? Purity, which approach do you intend to use? For you to deliver the PPE? Or any person from Joint, feel free to.
Maybe Ivan can help me and Joshua.
Ivan and Joshua?
I don't know, what do you mean by approach? Sorry.
Approach is how are you going to deliver? How are you going to ensure that the PPE reach the healthcare practitioners across the country? Because you're at the entire country.
We shall be, first there will be a submission from the facilities that are, yes, these are the number of professionals that we have per facility.
Okay.
Then we organize shipments to that particular facility.
Okay.
To ensure that they are delivered exactly at the that particular facility in question.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe I can also add on.
Yes, Purity. Yes, Purity.
We could have like a delivery schedule since the project maybe is like 5 years. We have delivery schedule that we follow. So we also get for them order forms and do quantification, things like that, so that when the orders come in, we are able to supply using that delivery schedule.
Okay. One of the approach you're mentioning is you're going to work through, for you to be able to deliver, you're going to work with. Someone yesterday mentioned medical bureaus, right?
Clear?
Yes, Joshua.
I think it involves also getting the stakeholders be part of this, like the way you're saying, the medical bureaus, the DHOs, and the people in charge of the health centers.
Okay, thank you, Team Joint Medical Stores. We are mentioning that since we are looking at the entire country, we are going to get stakeholders in the health sector. One, we are going to work with the medical bureaus, okay, with this procurement. So because the approach, they want to know how are you going to deliver on the project outputs. You've mentioned, I think Ivan mentioned that you're going to get requests from the healthcare centers or the facilities. Then you will get in touch with the medical bureaus that actually have access or nearer access to those medical facilities. On your side, you're indicating to them that you actually have the numbers of the PPE, or you'll be able to provide the PPE, and then you'll be working with them. So in the approach, you will need to indicate which medical bureaus you're going to work with, and how are you going to work with them? Are you going to sign MOUs for them to use to work with their staff? Okay, so the approach can just be one paragraph. Yeah.
Madam, there's an answer you didn't give us about partnerships. If I'm the major person and we are partnering with maybe say the medical bureaus, remember they're giving extra work to their workers.
Yes, please.
Do we contribute some little money to add on what they are receiving already so that we add them more work, or it will just be like that?
You must give them money because they are delivering on your behalf. They are saving
my thought.
Fuel that you're going to drive from Kampala to Kaberamaido or whichever district that you're going to deliver in. Okay? They are saving the time of your staff to concentrate actually on looking for more money for PPE. So your staff at the center in Kampala will be able to concentrate on looking for more financing, and then you get the medical bureau staff to do the distribution because they are close to the healthcare facilities. So what you do, you agree on a budget. Since you have a budget that was supposed to cover all this, you get a portion of that money and you transfer it to, now, still you have to inform the funder that some of the money is going to be transferred to the healthcare, to the medical bureaus. And how much are you going to be transferring to them? And what is it going to do? It is going to pay staff, it is going to pay fuel, If there's any motor vehicle hire, it's going to do that, you know. You indicate, and then you ensure that that money is utilized well, because you're the ones reporting to the funder, much as it is the medical bureaus who are implementing on your behalf in the communities out there. Then another alternative could be, you may do, the medical bureaus could also apply for funding to partner with you. They could be having some funding to partner with you, and they can cover some of their costs, or even all of their costs. So for you, one, you're making a big contribution, you're purchasing the PPE. So it will really be according to the agreement you will sign. But as long as you plan to give them work, plan to give them some money, part of the budget that you'll have got from the funder. Unless otherwise they indicate that they have money for that. Answer your question.
Excuse me, Claire.
Yes, please.
Hello?
I can hear you.
I want to just give Claire, can I give a related example?
Yes, Andrew, please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, just to relate to the extension approach.
Yes, please.
I'm just using a case which is closer to the joint medical case that's being discussed.
Yes, please.
Where one time doing a project, but still an extension. Then we discovered from the Ministry of Agriculture that the districts are given a fund to do extension work called Agriculture Extension Grant.
Okay.
So what we did, our project, we partnered with the district, but we agreed that we are going to fund out of the 12 months, for us would provide the fuel for the staff for 7 months. Then the staff, the district would use part of the extension grant to cover the other 5 months to make 12 per year. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
So we were providing some funds. But we had also worked with them to agree that they were using part of the funds they were already having in the system. So in other words, when you do additional work, you also put a bit of additional resources, much as they may be having theirs, because theirs may be already budgeted.
Thank you.
So that was
very
the case related to that.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Purity, does that really give you of the possibilities that Andrew has shared? Thank you, Emmanuel, for the comment. I hope we are good on the approach. Then, still in the concept, you must give a summary of the problems. Now, in the full proposal, when you mention a problem, you add some meat to this problem, like you explain. In the concept note, you can just put a line or two about this problem only, because we need a very short statement. Okay? So detail all the problems that you want to address. I have indicated up to 4, but if there are 8, if there are 2, if it is 1, that is what you indicate. Which problems are the ones that you will focus on in case you have an opportunity of developing a bigger proposal. Then for each problem, solutions in summary. Then you describe the initiative. Okay? How many beneficiaries are you going to reach out to? How many healthcare practitioners? Let's assume 100,000. You indicate 1,000 healthcare practitioners in Uganda will receive PPE. Okay? Now, for Uganda, if it is the entire Uganda, you say we are going to work in all districts. If it's some of the districts, you indicate. If it's only a region, you also indicate that. But still very briefly, because the concept note is to the point, then the funder comes back to you for more information or for a full proposal after approving the concept note. Still here, we need the project goal. We need the impact. We need the outcomes. We need the outputs, okay? And everything is in summary. How are you going to do the accountability? Yoshua was asking me on day one how we do the accountability. On day 2. How are you going to monitor? Now, for you, as joint medical stewards, you're going to be working with medical bureaus. You will have a component of evaluation because this is an external party, much as they are your partner. You have to evaluate their services. How are you going to ensure that they deliver on the outputs? Okay. Then you have to indicate an strategy. If you're given this money and you get the PPE, the healthcare facility is going to make a partial contribution so that you can have money at the end. For those who are in agriculture, Andrew, are the farmers going to contribute to the extension services so that this can continue? Because the farmers, when they get good extension services, they'll be able to produce quality coffee. Then part of the proceeds of the coffee can come back to you to continue financing the extension services, even after the project or the program. You indicate the timeline. Here, you don't do an entire implementation plan. You just indicate the timeline, how many months. You indicate the budget. So with the concept note, you're actually going to have to draw the budget, and then here you only give us the figure of how much you intend to spend. You indicate to us the money. Just mention names. Remember, in the full proposal, you need all the CVs of the yes. And then you indicate the joint contribution, the own contribution of the medical stores, and what it is going to cover. Yeah? Purity, that is an example of a concept note.
This is so beautiful. Thank you so very much for that summary and that document. Would it be fine for us to have that copy, please?
I'll share it with you.
Thank you.
Yes, and you have a comment? I see you've unmuted yourself.
Claire, some question, Claire.
Yes, please.
A question. Suppose in the concept,
yes,
you
please.
gave a certain figure of a budget.
Yes, please.
Then you are invited to prepare the full proposal.
Yes, please.
Then in the preparation of the full proposal, your budget now goes beyond what you had stated in the concept. So how do you harmonize that? Because now in the full proposal, you are now getting reality. And sometimes they may invite you to write the proposal, maybe after some things have changed. So you find your budget is shooting way beyond. How would you harmonize that with your donor, potential donor?
For that, Andrew, make sure that your proposal does not exceed. Make sure that your proposal does not exceed 10% of the earlier indicated amount. Because when they were requesting you when they were approving you, okay, even it was considered. And sometimes actually, a funder will send out, many times, when funders send out, those calls come with an indicative budget. Okay? But you never go beyond, because that is what they can be able to allocate. When you indicate more money, it shows they might not be able to give you or to continue with your proposal. Remember, you're not alone who is bidding for this or who is applying for this. So what I would suggest to you, if this goes beyond the 10% agreeable, because normally funders agree up to 10%. Anything 10% and beyond, they want you to give some explanations. I would suggest that you increase your contribution, or you look for other partners that can be able to mark up that funding or to match it up. Does that help? Andrew? Andrew? I'm failing to hear from you. I'm seeing a very new name coming in the room, Karama Farid. Humphrey,
Sorry, Claire.
Yes, please.
Being the last day is one of our partners, AAA,
Okay.
the CEO of Africa Business Academy.
Okay. Thank you, Roy. Farid, you're most welcome. He's just joining. Farid, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much, Claire.
Yes, you came in when we are actually finalizing, but very good to have you here. I'm waiting for just questions and comments from the participants, because we are going to the last slide, which is looking at their expectations to see if the training has been able to go somewhere next to the expectations, to achieve them, or they are not achieved. Yeah. So dear participants, Elsie, you have your hand up, please talk to us.
Okay, you're getting me.
Yes,
I wanted to inquire.
Yes, please.
The procurement and distribution, like this slide that is on the screen. For example, if you, in the case that you want to organize an event that aims to solve a problem, then is it really necessary, or?
Sorry, Elsie, I didn't get you clearly.
I'm inquiring.
Yes, please.
This slide that is on the screen, right?
The concept note.
Yes. Is it really necessary in the case where you are writing a proposal for funders to come on board for an event, to fund an event?
Yes. Actually, funding, and like anything that you need funding for, writing a concept first makes a lot more sense than you getting into a fully fledged proposal, which is going to take a lot of your time and sometimes even more resources. So when you when you want partners for an event, it's good to just have a 1 or 2 page concept. You submit it to them, they look at it, and then they can choose to invite you in for more discussions or not. So a concept note is very good to have it for anything that you're planning that you want to look funding for in your business or organization. Okay. Thank you, Elsie, for that.
Okay.
Yes, I'll stop the screen and go to our very final slide for our training. And these are our expectations that we mentioned on day 1. And I request to hear from us if our expectations have been met. Please feel free to unmute yourself and give a comment, okay? Bridget, and actually most of you mentioned that you wanted to write winning grant proposals. and to understand what funders look for in a grant proposal. Have we achieved that, or to some extent?
Hello, Claire. Thank you once again.
You're welcome.
For the time and for patiently taking us through everything. Yes, my expectations were to get more confident with writing proposals. Initially, I thought they were too long and complicated, but given the approach that you have used to break it down into the different components and to see to it that we understand, thank you so much. It has met my expectations. Now I believe I'm more confident when it comes to writing proposals, and I understand what grantors are looking out for. That part for mentioning maybe like your commitment, that part I didn't know it. So because I didn't know that some grantors need to know like that you're fully committed to a project. So like being able to make like a partial contribution is important. So that's something that I have learned. Other than that, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Bridget. Elsie, you want the slides after the session? They'll be shared like we've done since day one. Andrew, expectation of why do some proposals don't go through? Have we picked something from this? Three-day sessions. Andrew, please speak to us.
Yes, throughout the presentation, the discussion, I will.
You've muted yourself, Andrew. Okay. Ivan, or anyone from Team Joint Medical Stewards, as we wait for Andrew to get back, please speak to us about your experience and about your expectation as we are starting the training on day one.
Ivan, maybe
questions
can go first.
There have been so many questions from Joint Medical Stewards. Yeah. So
There's something we didn't tackle. How many pages should a proposal be, please? Do we have a maximum page?
No, we don't. It depends on. But remember, funders do not have a lot of time to read. Whatever I put in your proposal, within the first 3 lines of your paragraph, your key content should be there. The others can just be additional explanations. If you're explaining the problem, in the first 3 lines, actually the first 2 or even the first line should have your problem. Then the other lines are explaining your problem. Okay? So don't put your problem at the end of the paragraph. The funder looks for the problem in the first line of the paragraph. So make your proposal in a sense that every component are bringing out the actual issue. The funder can just go deep into reading when they want more clarity. Okay? Don't look at having a very big proposal because it's discouraging. You know what happens with funders? They can send out a call. Sometimes they don't even send out a call, but through your sources, you get to know that they want to get partners or people to fund. And not only you, many people have gotten to know about that, so they submit. Sometimes when funders send out calls, they can receive even 1,000 proposals to fund only 5 or 10, but they have 1,000 proposals. What criteria are they going to use to scale down from 1,000 to 5 or to 10 when each proposal is coming with 50, 100 pages? So I advise you, put the key information at the beginning of every component proposal. there's a question here from else, when you want to win a fund on board, it's advisable to have both the proposal and concept note, or should you submit both of them at the same time in different folders? Normally, funders request, there are those who request for a full proposal at the start. There are those who request for a concept note. Then when they review the concept notes, they select out some or the best concept notes, and they write to you and request you to submit fully fledged proposals. Okay, so else you don't have to submit a concept note and a proposal at the same time. Submit what the funder has asked for. But when you're approaching a funder without a call, it would be good to first submit a concept note. Funder can pick interest and request you to give more information in the form of a proposal, or just to invite you in for a meeting. Yakub, you have a question. Can you use the same format, detailed proposal or concept note, for a blind proposal requesting for funding? I don't know if I've got this clearly, but what I'm getting from here is a blind proposal requesting for funding. Any works, but what does the funder want? Do they want a proposal? Do they want a concept note? A concept note saves both your time and the funder's time, because they'll be able to look at them, at the content of the concept note, and see if they need to work with you. Okay? But if it is a call for proposals, please develop a fully fledged proposal and submit it, not a concept note. If it's a call for concept notes, draft and submit a concept note. Thank you. Any more questions? We have about 3 minutes, and yet I want us also to. Roy? Roy, are you there?
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
Madam Claire, what I want to ask.
Yes, please.
Let me say that I'm just an individual, me as Juliet.
Yes, Juliet.
And I want to access some grants. Is it possible for me? Today I've been quiet, yes. But I'm sorry. But what I want to know, is it possible for an individual person to access grants, or they just give to the organizations and NGOs?
Anyone can access funding, because even organizations by individuals. So an individual can apply, an organization can apply, OTM can apply, an association can apply. You can apply Juliet, and you get funding.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's my question.
Thank you so much. I think we are done with the questions. Roy, I would like you to come in to give us a word as we are going to close our training.
All right.
But before that, I would like to request if Farid is going to be able to give some words of advice. Sorry, I didn't know about the arrangement, so I need to hear from you, Roy. Is Farid going to talk to us?
Actually, that was one of the things. Ideally, being the closing day, obviously, first of all, is to appreciate you for making time. And I would like the participants, please do unshare on the screen so that you can see the participants. I would like, if it is possible, all the participants, please put your faces, if it is possible, if the network will allow, please put your faces. And I would like us to acknowledge Claire for having making herself available and providing all this wisdom. As you can see, it is just not knowledge, it is both skills, expertise, and experience. And in your own words, as much as I would like you to type on the chat box, please just give your final whether final remark or appreciation to Claire for making time for this. I'll start with Purity, then Yakub, then Elsie. Yeah. Purity, just one sentence. How is your feel since we are getting done with it?
I would like to appreciate Claire so much for setting apart some time for us and really enduring and leaving us to ask all the kinds of questions. Sometimes she had to repeat herself. You've really added to our knowledge. And I think we are better. We are better than where we were and hope for the very best. Thank you so much. May the good Lord bless you.
Thank you very much. Mr.
Imuka. Imuka.
Mr. Yakub, please go ahead.
I'd like to thank the organizers and the lead facilitator for this session. And I'm not the same again. Actually, I've built my confidence, and I feel next time that when I'm presenting, even if they reject the proposal, I know that I'll have done something. And I just pray that keep in touch with Claire, so that if in case they reject something somewhere, I'm able to consult her at a zero fee. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Joshua, please. Joshua, any final remarks?
Good morning, people.
Good morning, sir.
I would like to thank Claire for the presentation. I really started well, just that I missed a bit of yesterday and came in late. But it has been a good presentation, and I've really gotten a lot from proposal writing, and I hope to do well in the future. And I hope Claire is available, and I can take her maybe contact or email, and whenever I get some challenges, I can be able to reach out to her. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Joshua. Juliet? Juliet? I think Juliet had commented. I don't know if...
All right. Thank you, Roy, for the chance given to me. And thank you, Claire, for a very good presentation. It has been very interesting. It was my first time to attend like this kind of meeting, but I've gained a lot. And I know in future I'll be able to present a very good proposal.
Thank you very much. Juliet? Quickly, final feedback. Can you hear? We cannot hear, your voice is mute. Sorry, your voice is mute. We cannot hear you.
Okay, are you getting me now?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Okay, what I intended to get from the training, I've actually got that and much more. Right now, I can be able to put down a proposal in a much better way. And I think with that, I can be able to win the funders for the projects that I have that were a bit shaky at first because of the type of proposal I used to write before. But right now, I think I'm in a better place to be able to win more and get more than I intended to get.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Elsie. Monique?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. At least I've been able to learn a lot, and I know I'll put it in practice. At first I was scared because I was listening from joint medical and tried, and I was scared that maybe I'll not be able to make it. But since they've encouraged us that you can even write for a personal one, I'm encouraged. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Monique.
Thank you very much. Andrew?
Okay, thank you very much. I was attending with the underband network on and off, but all in all, I have been able to get a lot from the training, and most importantly, I look forward to the training in business proposal writing, if I it is supposed to be there. Hello?
Yes, it is. We're going to make. Yes, please.
I look forward. I look forward to that one of business proposal writing. Thank you very much.
All right.
Business plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. Did we hear from Bridget?
Yes, I said something, but I can give another gratitude message.
Okay.
Claire, thank you so much once again. Right, thank you so much for organizing and putting this together. And also to the partners that have made this possible. This is really helpful because now more than ever, we need those grant funds. So writing good proposals, writing good proposals is really going to help us. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Joanita?
I take this opportunity to thank Claire for the training that was done. It has been very helpful. We already have a group for GMS, and we've already identified some problems for which we are going to write grants proposals. So we are really grateful and we are already in action. However, I had one more request to make. I don't know whether it's even possible. I had put it on the chat. I thought that we could share one of the proposals we had submitted that wasn't successful for critiquing. If they could, like we could have an hour, if it's possible, please.
Well, we shall give you feedback as Claire shared earlier, and I think it was in the beginning of the session, that if you can share anything written before Monday, close of business, you'll be able to get feedback in terms of the write-up. So that still stands. So if there's anything, whether it's this assignment or something you've worked on that you'll need feedback on, please share it before close of business on Mondays to be able to be guaranteed feedback. Okay, thank you very much. Our next phase is I'm going to appreciate our partners. This wouldn't have taken place without the availability and commitment of our partners. Claire was putting on two hats. One, she was your facilitator, but she's also managing one of the partner organizations that put this together, that is the renewable. So as a partner, I want to appreciate you for making time and sparing time to actually take and facilitate on this. Please, let's give a round of applause, whether it's on reaction or whatever, you can show your appreciation. I would also like to appreciate the Africa Agribusiness Academy in this forum, represented by the country chapter lead, Angela Logose, and the Africa CEO, Mr. Farid Karama. I want to appreciate you for supporting this, for collaborating and actually ensuring that ultimately the participants are able to benefit. We don't take that for granted, and we want to appreciate And before I proceed with final announcements, I would like you to say a word or two regarding why and why this you saw this as a very important course to be part of. Kindly.
Thank you very much, Roy. As you can see, I'm in the field visiting some farmers this side of Gayaz and Matuga area. So I'm happy that I've managed to join in this session. I'd like to thank you, the participants. I know this morning it has been raining and some of us were caught in traffic and most people actually, but since this was an online training, I think all of you managed to join in. So thank you very much to the participants for giving in your time, being part of this session. And also thanks to the facilitators, Claire, and also we had yesterday also another session, which was a physical session. So the partners who are part of this session, I think you really did a very good thing. And as Africa Agribusiness Academy, we saw this as an important way we could organize this kind of trainings through partnerships. And I think looking at back where we have come from and also how businesses have been affected by the COVID-19, I think it was important, and I think it's the right time that we bring down organizations or businesses down to see how they can really rethink about their businesses, because there are many opportunities that are coming, but most of you have to be prepared for such opportunities. So I thank to the organizers for this, and as Africa Agribusiness Academy, we shall always be committed and seeing more how we can have these kind of trainings to see that we can reach as many people here in Uganda, but also in other countries. Maybe just to share with you about Africa Agribusiness Academy, we are an entrepreneurial platform seeking to foster innovation and growth of small and medium agribusiness companies in Africa. Like Roy said, we are working in different countries. Uganda is being the Secretariat for Africa. That's where I sit. And my colleague Angela is representing the Uganda office. So we are the countries that we work in is Malawi, Rwanda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Tanzania. But we're also looking at expanding to other countries. So thank you so much. And I think we'll get interacting more in the other sessions, because I feel it's important for you guys to attend these sessions, because it will open up and also you look at different opportunities that will come your way. So thank you very much, and I wish you a blessed day.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Farid. I'll just like to make final announcements and remarks. So for all the participants, congratulations for successfully participating. And I want to inform you that we have physical certificates. This one belongs to Juliet. There is Ivan. There is Emmanuel. There is Joshua. There is Bridget. There is Yakub. There is Purity. There is Andrew. There is Monique and Elsie. So I want to inform you that out all the participants requested that we make also available certificates, and all these certificates have been signed by the different partners from Renewable Energy, Imuka Access, and Africa Agribusiness Academy, just to confirm that you successfully completed this. The other thing is, this is one of the of more master classes that we are having. The next one we're having first week of November, if it is of interest, business plan or business proposal writing master class. It will take the shape of both physical and online. If you're interested, all these details are in Imuka Online. So we have a platform called Imuka Online, where we are sharing all quality trainings and opportunities for you, for organizations and entrepreneurs to equip themselves on various areas of interest. But it also has various opportunities in the latest tenders and relevant events, especially on the business side of things. So that is one of the things I wanted to encourage you. Please visit and see what opportunities are relevant for you. The other thing is, out of request from the participants, we are going to set up a WhatsApp group which We'll also include the physical masterclass participants, so that in case we also have opportunities that we think are relevant to you, we shall also share on that group. But also it allows both Claire and the facilitator who was available on physical to respond, because on proposals, it's in one forum. So that is one of the things that we intend to do, just to ensure that this goes beyond just a masterclass, but it could be an opportunity to network further. I think beyond that, I would also like to appreciate my colleagues. There is Humphrey Bwire, I don't know if he can show his face, and Juma Bakora. They have been the ones making this, coordinating this, reaching out, ensuring that everything goes on well. I would like us, all of us, to appreciate them for making this happen. We wouldn't have achieved all this smooth flow. There is a lot of behind the scenes. So I would like to really appreciate and express my sincere gratitude to the team who are behind organizing this, and not forgetting Angela, who also really invested a lot of time to actually ensure that everything also flows smoothly. So let's all appreciate, because these are the guys who work behind to just ensure that everything flows smoothly. Other than that, notes and everything that was requested will be shared. I think somebody is asking me for a certificate. All the online participants, your certificates are available. So you'll find how you will be able to collect, but we shall make them available either here or in any of our partners' offices, because that is the easiest way we can ensure that you be able to access. I think that's all I have for you. If there are any further questions, feel free to email us or communicate to us for further interaction. Thank you very much. Over back to you, Claire, to close as a partner, with a partner's hat, now not as a facilitator's hat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Roy. Yes. Now, Claire as a REBI Managing Director. At REBI, we provide business development support to renewable energy startups, to SMEs. We do piloting and skills development. Those are our focus areas. We are very glad to meet and get to know you, because with this network, we can be able to identify many more opportunities to work together. Renewable energy is an enabler. We can work with the health sector, we can work with agriculture. You know, we all have synergies that can fit into each other's work. So we can be able to reach out to you, and you also welcome to reach out to us when you have something that you feel we can work on together. Then in terms of the proposal development, I do proposal development as a consultant. When we mention about consultants, normally people fear, they think of very like big dollars, but we can talk and we get to agree. Yakub was requesting for a free service. What I can mention is that it takes a lot of time, effort, concentration, research, energy, and knowledge to develop a very good proposal. So I can be able to do that for you, but you approach me and we talk at some fee. However, if you feel you can do it on your own, it will be my gratitude, because since I've done this training, it was to empower you to be able to do this on your own. Okay, but in case opportunities come out from your side, please get in touch with me or Roy, and we can be able to deliver. So thank you so much. You've been a great team. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the questions. I have been facilitating, but I've also actually learned from you. I wish you the very best, and I wait to hear from you by close of business on Monday. I wish you the best.
All right.
Your weekend.
Thank you very Thank you very much, Claire. May I kindly request all of you to put the cameras on? I just want to take a group photo online, if you don't mind. Just a quick one, please. Just one final photo shoot. Please, just put your camera, because we are not talking. I don't think the internet will interfere. Juliet, Elsie, Humphrey, Bridget, kindly. Farid, Juliet, Humphrey, we are waiting for you. Okay. Bridget?
My camera doesn't work.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'll take a quick one. And I'll say cheese. Let's all say hi. Okay, thank you very much. And I wish you a blessed day and weekend ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Bye, everyone.
Bye.